Defining the battlefield. Why most people never get rich. Let's start with precision. What does getting rich actually mean? Not making six figures, not having nice things, not even being comfortable. For this analysis, getting rich means achieving financial freedom, where passive income from capital and assets comfortably exceeds your living expenses. This shifts the entire conversation. It's not about income, it's about capital accumulation and ownership. You could earn $500,000 annually and never get rich if you spend $500,000. You could earn $80,000 and become wealthy if you systematically convert income into income-generating assets. The paradox we'll explore. Everyone knows the basic advice. Spend less than you earn, invest the difference, work hard, be patient. If it's that simple, why do fewer than 10% achieve financial freedom? Our mission? We're going beneath the surface advice to expose the hidden curriculum no one teaches, the invisible barriers that make simple advice impossibly hard, the systemic architecture designed to keep you running in place. This isn't about tactics, it's about the foundational operating system that determines whether wealth is even possible. The time and compounding disconnect. The mathematical foundation. The number one reason people don't get rich is mathematical. They never harness compound interest over sufficient time. Einstein allegedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. Here's why it's so rare. The psychological barrier, hyperbolic discounting. Your brain is wired wrong for wealth building. A choice, $100 today or $110 in a week. Most people take $100 today. Why? The brain discounts future rewards hyperbolically. The further away something is, the less real it feels. But compound wealth requires the opposite, accepting $100 today to get $10,000 in 30 years. Your neural architecture treats future you as a stranger. You wouldn't sacrifice for a stranger, hence you don't invest. The systemic barrier, survival math. Even if you wanted to invest, 60% of people live paycheck to paycheck. When every dollar is spoken for before it arrives, there's no seed capital to plant. You're trapped in a survival loop where long-term thinking is a luxury you can't afford. This isn't a character flaw, it's math. You can't compound what you don't have. The seed versus harvest misunderstanding. Most people operate on a linear model. Time, effort, cash. Hourly wage, monthly salary, direct exchange. Wealth operates on a completely different model. Capital, time, exponential return. You plant a seed, you wait decades, you harvest, compound growth. The fundamental mismatch. The employed mindset is, how do I get paid more for my time? The wealth mindset is, how do I buy assets that generate income without my time? One is trading, the other is compounding. Most people never make this mental shift. They optimize within the wrong framework entirely. The consumer versus owner identity trap. Deconstruct social conditioning. From birth, you're trained to be a skilled consumer and a reliable employee. Watch children's television. Every 7 minutes, an ad teaching them to want things. Go through school, trained to follow instructions, show up on time, work for grades, external validation. Enter the workforce, trade time for money, spend money on lifestyle signals, repeat. Nowhere in this pipeline are you taught to own assets. The identity imprint. Ask someone who they are. They'll say, I'm a marketing manager at Nike. Job title plus brand affiliation equals identity. Now ask a wealthy person. I own a portfolio of rental properties and equity in 3 businesses. Owner first, occupation second, if at all. Why this matters? Your identity dictates behavior. If you identify as a senior analyst, you optimize for promotions, trading more time for more money, lifestyle signals that match your title, car, clothes, zip code, consumption that reflects your status. If you identify as an owner of cash-flowing assets, you optimize for acquisition opportunities. Where can I buy income? Capital preservation. How do I protect and grow my ownership? Freedom. How do I reduce dependency on trading time? Same income, completely different financial trajectory. The lifestyle inflation algorithm. Here's the trap. Every income increase triggers automatic consumption increase. You get a raise, move to a better neighborhood, buy a better car, eat at nicer restaurants, subscribe to more services. New income level absorbed. Your lifestyle adjusts to consume any surplus. The hamster wheel just gets more expensive. Why? Because your environment, neighborhood, peer group, social media feed, creates a new baseline of normal. You move to the nice neighborhood, now everyone around you has the nice car. You feel behind. You buy the car, now you need the remodel everyone else has. The environment is a consumption engine. It automatically extracts any income growth. The environmental toll. Wealthy people engineer their environment to preserve capital. They live below their means in middle-class neighborhoods while owning assets elsewhere. Most people engineer their environment to display status. They live at or above their means in aspirational neighborhoods while owning nothing. Your zip code is often the first and most expensive financial mistake. The knowledge gap and the wrong game. Financial literacy versus wealth literacy. Financial literacy, budgeting, saving, not overdrafting your account. Wealth literacy, leverage, equity, tax arbitrage, optionality, asymmetric risk. Schools teach the first, barely. No one teaches the second. Why? Because wealth literacy is the knowledge of the owner class. It's not intentionally hidden, but it's not distributed either. You learn it from wealthy parents, mentors, or painful trial and error. Most people never encounter it. Playing the wrong game perfectly. Imagine two players. Player A, promotions and salary increases, works 60-hour weeks, climbs the corporate ladder, makes $250K by age 45. Player B optimizes for equity and ownership, takes a lower salary at a startup with stock options, invests aggressively in index funds, buys a small rental property, makes $100K by age 45, but owns $800K in assets. Player A is winning the income game. Player B is winning the wealth game. Guess who retires early? The golden handcuffs. Here's the cruel irony. The better you get at the income game, the more trapped you become. High salary, high lifestyle, high expenses, can't afford to leave, keep working. You're successful at the wrong game, and success makes it harder to switch games. Risk miscalibration. Ask an average person about risk. The stock market is too risky, I might lose money. So they keep $50,000 in a savings account earning 0.5%. Inflation runs at 3 to 4% annually. They're guaranteed to lose 2.5 to 3.5% of purchasing power every year. They avoided the risk of market volatility and chose the certainty of wealth destruction. The wealthy see risk differently. To them, risk is not owning assets that appreciate, inflation eroding purchasing power, missing opportunities during market crashes. Market volatility isn't risk, it's opportunity. The knowledge gap isn't just about what to do, it's about how to see reality differently. The systemic and psychological wealth repellents. The efficiency trap. Modern capitalism has perfected the art of extracting capital from consumers. One-click buying, no friction to purchase. Buy now, pay later, no immediate pain. Subscription models, automatic recurring extraction. Social media ads, targeting your exact psychological weak points. The system is hyper-efficient at taking your money. Wealth building is the opposite. Set up automatic investment transfers, manual setup, boring. Wait decades for compound returns, no dopamine hit. Reject shiny new things, social pressure to conform. Wealth building is inefficient and boring by design.
The system is optimized for consumption. Wealth building requires swimming against the current. The negativity immune deficiency. Doom scrolling, financial crisis headlines, the economy is rigged, you'll never own a home, billionaires are evil. Why do most people consume this content? Because negativity is addictive. It provides permission to not try, it's rigged anyway, community of shared grievance, you're not alone in failing, moral superiority, you're not greedy like the rich. Contrast with the wealthy mindset. 2008 financial crisis, housing prices crashed, time to buy distressed properties. 2020 pandemic, market down 30%, time to deploy capital. They see the same events through a different lens, problem-solving optimism. Crises aren't reasons to complain, they're asset fire sales. Lack of a personal board of directors. Who do most people take financial advice from? Peers, also broke, also confused. Parents, operating with industrial age playbook, pension, gold watch, loyalty. Media, selling fear, clicks, and advertisements. Who are wealthy people learning from? Mentors who've built wealth, advisors, CPAs, attorneys, wealth managers, networks of other owners and investors. Your wealth counsel determines your wealth trajectory. If everyone in your council is broke, you'll stay broke, not because they mean harm, but because they don't know a different path.
The Wealth Prevention Framework. The Cycle of Mediocrity Model. Component 1. Identity and Environment. The foundation of financial behavior. Primary identity, consumer plus employee, not owner plus investor. Physical environment, aspirational neighborhood with lifestyle inflation pressure. Social environment, peer group reinforcing consumption signals. Effect, spending absorbs any income increase automatically. Component 2, time mismanagement, the compounding killer. Short-term thinking, hyperbolic discounting of future value, no seed capital to plant, paycheck to paycheck survival, linear time for money exchange model, no passive income stream. Effect, compounding never begins, wealth clock never starts. Component 3, game selection error, optimizing the wrong variable. Playing the income game, promotions, raises, salary. Not playing the wealth game, equity, ownership, assets. Golden handcuffs, success in the wrong game creates dependency. Effect, high income, zero net worth, can never stop working. Component 4, knowledge and risk gaps, seeing through the wrong lens. Financial literacy without wealth literacy, budgeting not leverage. Risk miscalibration, avoiding volatility, accepting inflation loss. No exposure to tax arbitrage, equity strategies, or optionality thinking. Effect, conservative decisions that guarantee mediocre outcomes. Component 5, systemic suction, the extraction engine. Hyper-efficient consumption systems, one-click, BNPL, subscriptions. Inefficient wealth-building processes, boring, manual, delayed gratification. Negativity diet reinforcing inaction and cynicism. No wealth counsel providing counterbalancing information. Effect, capital flows out faster than it can be accumulated. The self-reinforcing loop. Each component feeds the others. Consumer identity drives lifestyle inflation, requires higher income, forces focus on salary game, lacks time and capital to learn wealth game, stays in linear income model, continues consumption, identity reinforced. The loop is closed, it's self-sustaining. The escape hatch. To break this cycle, you must attack the weakest link. For most people, the weakest, most breakable link is Component 5, systemic suction, information diet. Why? Changing your identity is hard, deeply psychological. Changing your time horizon is hard, wired into the brain. Changing games requires capital you don't have yet. Learning wealth literacy requires knowing it exists first. But changing what you consume, that's a decision you can make today. Stop consuming financial doom. Start consuming wealth-building knowledge. Cancel one entertainment subscription. Use the time to read one book on real estate, index investing, or tax strategy. Change your information diet, exposes knowledge gaps, reveals the wrong game, creates time awareness, shifts identity, breaks the loop. The uncomfortable truth and first step. The hard truth. Is the primary barrier to wealth external or internal? External factors: systemic inequality, born into poverty; bad luck, medical emergency wipes savings; geographic disadvantage, no opportunity economy; timing, entered job market during a recession; internal factors: mindset, consumer versus owner identity; behavior, lifestyle inflation, debt accumulation; knowledge, playing the wrong game, risk miscalibration; environment, chosen peer group, and information diet. The honest assessment. External factors set your starting line. They're real, they're unfair, and they matter. But internal factors determine the race you run. Two people start at the same line. One stays broke, one builds wealth. What's the difference? Evidence. Lottery winners, massive external advantage, go broke at a 70% rate within 5 years. Why? Internal factors didn't change. Immigrants arrive with nothing, massive external disadvantage, and achieve higher wealth rates than native-born citizens. Why? Internal factors drive different behaviors. The uncomfortable truth is that while you can't control your starting line, you have significantly more control over your trajectory than you think. Blaming external factors exclusively is a trap. It removes agency. It makes wealth impossible by definition. The counterintuitive first step. If I could give you one non-financial, behavioral prescription to break the cycle, here it is. Curate your information diet like your financial life depends on it, because it does. The 10-to-1 rule. For every 1 hour you spend on entertainment or shopping content, consume 10 hours of asset-building content. Not vague motivation, not get-rich-quick schemes. Real content. How index funds work. How rental property cash flow is calculated. How tax deductions reduce your effective rate. How equity compensation structures work. How compound interest actually compounds. Why this works? Your current information diet is engineered by algorithms optimized for engagement, which means outrage, comparison, and desire. You're consuming content designed to make you feel inadequate, so you'll buy things. When you replace that with wealth-building content, you learn the game you didn't know existed, see opportunities you previously missed, understand leverage and optionality, build conviction to act differently. Information is the seed, behavior is the fruit. The damaging story and its antithesis. Final insight. The single most damaging self-told story that keeps people poor. I'll start investing, saving, building wealth when, fill in the blank. When I make more money, when I pay off this debt, when I get the promotion, when the kids are out of college, when the market is stabilized, when I have time to learn about it. Why this story is lethal. It treats wealth building as a destination activity rather than a journey process. It assumes there's a perfect moment to start. There isn't. It assumes your future self will be more disciplined, more knowledgeable, more capable. They won't be. They'll be the same person in different circumstances telling the same story with a new excuse. The story gives you permission to wait, and waiting is the enemy of compounding. Every year you wait costs you not just that year's investment, but the compound growth of that investment over all remaining years. Wait from age 25 to 35? You didn't lose 10 years, you lost the compound growth of those 10 years over the next 30 plus years. You lost potentially 70% of your lifetime wealth. The story is comforting. It lets you off the hook today, but it's the most expensive story you'll ever tell yourself. The empowering antithesis. I start with what I have, where I am, right now, because compound time is the only asset I can never buy back. What this means: you don't need perfect knowledge, you need enough to take the first step. You don't need a large amount, you need consistency over time. You don't need ideal circumstances, you need to begin before you feel ready. The first dollar. The first dollar you invest is the most important dollar, not because of its amount, but because it transforms your identity. You're no longer someone who will invest someday. You're an investor today, right now. That identity shift cascades. Investors think about assets. Investors notice opportunities. Investors learn about tax strategies. Investors delay gratification differently. Investors surround themselves with other investors. The final truth is most people never get rich because they're waiting for permission that will never come. The market will never be stable enough. You'll never feel ready enough. You'll never have enough knowledge. Wealth isn't built by people who wait for perfect conditions. It's built by people who plant imperfect seeds in imperfect soil and give them decades to grow. Your move? What's the smallest seed you can plant today? Not tomorrow, not when circumstances improve. Today. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.